right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you in the city of Houston, down in the ever-so hot state of Texas. First person I spotted in the stream with my little eyes, I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. Yeah! All right, let's get it. Y'all know how we do. All right, it is Saturday, May 17th. It is 7:03, according to the clock here on my desk. So we got a lot to get to over the next few hours. So we got a couple of hours here. We're going to be live here on Amazon, over on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on TikTok. So if you guys are watching on any of those platforms, you are more than welcome to join us down in the comments. Say hello, say what's happening, what's popping, what's crack-a-lacking. Let us know what's going on in your world. All right, so let me also check our comments so I can make sure our comments are going where they're supposed to go. So I'm going to go ahead and type something here over on Facebook just to see where it's popping up. So if you guys are on one of those other platforms, guys, please welcome each other by typing something nice down in the comments, and that way you can all see each other and hang out and, you know, welcome each other to the stream. Y'all know how we do. All right, let's see what we got going on here. All right, everything looks good over on Facebook. Let's pop over to YouTube and see what we got going on over there, making sure that everything looks the way it's supposed to. And let's see here now. Do I see our YouTube feed? Yes, our YouTube feed is live. So let's go ahead and say hello over on YouTube as well. I'm reaching way across the desk in case you guys are looking, because yes, my computer is way over there. All right, so I see Hope Standridge is saying hello over, looks like on YouTube. I also said hello from YouTube. All right, so I only got one more place to check and making sure what we got going on over here over on TikTok. So let me check TikTok here real quick and see what we got going on over there. Like I said, if you guys are on any of these platforms, feel free to drop on in. Let us know what's going on in your world. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's see, what do we got first? First couple of things we got in the carousel are things that I talk about on a regular basis. Most of you guys who are live here on the live stream every single night, 5 days a week here on Amazon, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and not Instagram, sorry. Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, and now on TikTok. All right. Bear brought his milk bone to me to break in half for him. Oh, Bear brought his bone over for you to do some mom duties, Terry says. That is hilarious, Terry. That is hilarious. All right, so let me make sure all of our cameras are working. Let me check real quick. Looks like, let's check, switch over to our iPhone camera. All right, so our iPhone camera's working. Let's check our top-down camera as well. Let's make sure everything is working. You guys can see my hand here on my little mouse. That is working, and I know our desktop camera's working, so we don't need to check that. All right, so let's switch back over. So, I don't know who I can say was first. Was Terry first in the stream, or was Hope first in the stream? Because I see Terry's time and I see Hope's time as well. So it looks like Hope might be the first one that actually commented on one of the platforms. She said hello. So Hope, we will give you the option right now to let us know what you would like me to create with our laser tonight. Now, if you don't know what laser I'm talking about, let me go ahead and pop over here real quick for you guys. All right, so the laser we're going to be using tonight, guys, is this laser right here. This is the LP5. This is the Laser Pecker 5. This is a combination diode and fiber laser, 20-watt fiber, 20-watt diode laser. You guys know, you see me posting things that I make with these lasers all the time, including things that you see laying here on top of this air purifier enclosure. You can see some acrylic that I've done, you know, some metal pieces, some wooden pieces, all different type of things you see laying down here on my desk. Now, this bundle that we're talking about right now, guys, from Laser Pecker, the LP5, does come with this air purifier that you see down here. It also arrives with this rotary chuck that you guys see right here. And it also comes with the slide extension. Now, I can't show you guys the slide extension. Maybe I can. I don't know if you guys can see the slide extension back there. It's right next to that motorcycle helmet that you see there. Unfortunately, I didn't bring it out forward for you guys to be able to see it, but this is what we will be creating something with tonight. So I'll move the laser a little bit closer once we get to a point where we're going to start creating something. So if I see a comment from Hope, let us know, Hope, if you have an idea of something that I can create with the laser. If not, I'll pass it on to perhaps over to Terry, pass it back to Terry and see what Terry thinks as something we can create. Now, Terry had me create something weird the other night. She had me create a donkey, if I'm not, oh, maybe it was a zebra. Yeah, it was a zebra. So, yeah, she had me create a zebra on some wood. Now, I do have these cool little keychains that we might engrave something on tonight. Now, these did come with the laser pecker. I just haven't got around to using all of them, but we got a couple of these little wooden keychains. So I can put something cool graphics on, one side of this, so if you guys got an idea, just drop it down in the comments and I will find a graphic and we will laser this on. Now for the wood, we will be using the diode laser, which is our 450 nanometer laser. We do have access to our fiber laser in this unit as well, and that is going to be our 1064 nanometer laser. Richard is in the house. Welcome, Richard. Welcome to the stream. All right, Richard says that there is a promotional discount right now of $700. If you guys are interested in the LP5, you can get $700 off right now. That's going to bring that retail price from $43.99. Listen to me now, down to $36.99. Slashing prices. Y'all know how we do. All right, y'all. So let me know. Let me know what y'all think about this laser. Richard, what you been up to, man? What you got going on for today? What's going to be for dinner? How many times did you go rollerblading today? Let us know, Richard, what is good in your world. And do not tell me you spent all day creating blooper videos of yours truly, okay? So nobody wants to hear that, Richard. So if you've been spent all day creating bloopers of me, I'm sorry. But we'll see how that goes for the rest of the night. All right, I see a lot of people popping in over on TikTok. Wow, that's nice. Nice to see so many people jumping in on TikTok. I'm just kind of going back and forth, checking the different platforms to see who's doing what. All right, so anyway, I'm just going to let everything run. So like I said, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, drop them down in the comments. Let me go over to my multi-view comments here and see if I can see anything else going on. Let me just type a quick little hello to everyone here in the comments. And let's go ahead and just send that to all so you guys can see it. There we go. All right, where is that popping up at? Okay, I can see that. All right, so what is Richard talking about now? Richard is still posting stuff over here. Having fun doing it. Blooper videos. So you're having fun making more blooper videos? Is that what we're doing, Richard? Is that what we're doing? Okay. Don't think this night is going to go the way you think it's going to go, bro. Okay? I'm just telling you, okay? Because I got stuff. I got stuff completely under control, okay? I ain't dropped nothing yet. I haven't set anything on fire. Nothing crazy has happened in the stream yet, other than my camera just went into tracking mode. So now, we got that, because y'all know I talk with my hands. So, of course, I did just trigger the camera to go into tracking mode. But needless to say, that is not a blooper, all right? Anyway, so we're going to create something with this laser. We have this little keychain. Where's my caliber? So let me see how wide this is. So our keychain is in length, 55 millimeters in length, and it is 30 millimeters wide. Okay, 55 millimeters long and 30 millimeters tall is what we can create something on here. Now this is wood, so like I said, we're going to be using the diode laser to do this. So let me go ahead and pop up our laser pecker design space and get that already ready and running so you guys can see. What, there's another update? Oh my goodness, I just did the update just a couple of days ago. I'm not doing the update tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. in between other things. But yeah, we got another update. Okay, so let's go over to our desktop here real quick. All right, where did I go to? Did I go the wrong one? Hold on, y'all. Okay, why is it not going to our desktop? All right, let me check. Let me check what's going on here. For some reason, it is not showing our desktop, but I'll fix it here in a second. Give me a second, guys. Nope, we don't want that. Let's cancel that. Okay, so we want... Why is it not showing our desktop? Did our desktop disappear? Do I have to recreate it? Oh my goodness, not really. Do I? Yes, I'm gonna have to. So let me fix this real quick. I don't know where it went, but it must have disappeared. So I'm just gonna add it back again. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to resize this for everybody. So give me a second, guys. I'm gonna have to fix this real quick. All right, let's fix it over here first. I'll worry about it being perfect later. All right, and let's go over here and also make this fit. All right, let's drag that all the way to the back. So if you guys are curious how we do this, now you can see it. And let me drag that all the way. Hold on. Okay, so now we just need to bring our webcam back. Hold on, what is going on here? I just moved the video capture all the way down here. That's not what we wanted. Let's move that back. Okay, let's move that back. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix this. Because if I don't fix this right now, I'll never hear the end of it from Richard. All right, there's our video capture. Let's bring that all the way back up. And our display capture is what we want to bring down here. Move it below. All right, there we go. And then I need to go and fix it over on our other page. All right, so where's our display capture? There it is. Let's move that back up. All right, so you guys should be seeing it over on TikTok, and I'm going to resize it also here on our normal, so you guys can see that. Let me just kind of square that off. There we go. I'll fix it later. All right, so anyway, there is our display. You guys can see it here. Let me go ahead and lock that so that it doesn't move around. All right, so what are we going to be creating tonight? Let's go ahead and open a new project. And you guys can see here is our work area. Let's go ahead and connect to our laser. All right, so we got the laser connecting. You probably heard that little chirp. All right, so let's also switch back over to the iPhones. You guys can see what's happening now. The laser bed is starting to rise up, and it's going to rise up to whatever it considers to be its native position. I'm also going to go ahead and turn on my little red lights so I can see when this is 100% in focus. So I just turn those on. Now, this air purifier does not come with the bundle, but you can purchase this as well. So now what I need to do here is I need to measure the thickness here of this keychain and also this little cutting bed, okay? So I can just bring this right to the edge like so, and then I can take our caliber, make sure it's zeroed out, and then I can just put that in there, and it will give me what the thickness is, which is 14 millimeters. 14.1 millimeters is what we get, 14.1 millimeters, and that's what we're going to enter into our software so that we can engrave something on this keychain. All right. throw that in there. Get that ready to engrave something on it. We'll come back to that here in a second. All right, so we still don't know what we're going to be putting on here, Terry, but I'm going to go ahead and put in that 14.1 right here. So 14.1 is what I just entered. 14.1 is what I just entered here. So I'm just going to click away, and that's going to additionally raise or lower the bed so that everything is now in focus. So we're good to go. Let me make some room here on top of this desk so that I can put this other camera up here, and you guys will be able to see what it is that we're creating. So I'm just going to tilt this camera down a little bit. So now you guys can see inside of the bed right there. Let me adjust this over just a little bit for you guys. Hold on, wrong way. There we go, wrong way, too far. That's close enough. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our chat and see if somebody has come up with an idea of something to create. I see Richard is still talking about bloopers. Richard has dropped my storefront link, and I am also seeing that our chat is all over the place. So let me fix this chat, y'all. So I'm gonna move one of these chat bubbles over. Let me find out which one it is. I think it's that one. No, it's not that one. Maybe it's that one. I think it is that one. So let me unlock it and see if I can move it down to about right there so they won't overlap. Then I need to do the same. All right, so that should be good. All right, so now hopefully the chat won't be overlapping. Let me see if I can see what you guys are saying. I actually can't see it, so let me go. I got Richard over on YouTube talking about the laser pecker. I have Hope on YouTube. We got a bunch of chat coming in from all over the place, which is good. But I wanted to be able to make sure you guys will be able to read this chat back later, so I just moved that. Now, I'm probably going to have to fix it on all of these different windows, so I'm going to go over real quick here. And let's see, which chat is that? I think it's that one. Nope. I think it's, nope, it's not that one. Nope. Which one is it? Is it that one? Let me try close it, turn it off, see. Nope, it's not that one. Okay, where is this chat? I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's that one. Let me try turning it off, see what happens. Yep, it's that one. Okay, so we're going to move that one off. Oops, I need to unlock it. So let me unlock that, and then we're going to move that over here just so we have the chat separated because we got a bunch of chat going on. So I'm not going to worry about it as much on our vertical, which I probably should. Let me see if I can move that. Don't have a place for it, so I'm just going to kind of put it on the screen here. All right, so we'll just have to work with what we got. All right, so that's good enough. That's good enough. Like I said, we got chat coming in from all over the place. All right, so Terry was the first person in the stream over on Amazon that had an opportunity to choose what we're going to create tonight. I don't see anything that Terry has typed in the comments. We are at 7,100 likes so far. So I'm just going to make something, and we're just going to put something on the keychain. Richard, unless you have an idea, what do you have an idea for? What would you like to see me put on this keychain? You know I got a bunch of stuff else, other things to get to tonight. So come on now. Come on, give me something so we can get to work with it. Did I highlight my phone already? I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. All right, so what are we creating tonight? What are we creating tonight? We're already 23 minutes into the stream. Time to make something happen, y'all. Okay, let me go back over to I'm just gonna grab something from the clip art. So the Laser Pecker Design Studio has a lot of built-in features. One of them is that it does have some clip art here that you can just click on, and you can go through and find some, you have your local files that you can choose from. You have these reliefs that you can do as well. These are going to be things that are going to be deeply engraved. You also have like festive things that you can choose from. I don't know why it's taking so long for these to load. We have animals as well. Normally would show up here. SVGs, G-code. We have different characters, graphics, all of that stuff. Plants, and then we have some custom things that you can bring in here as well. Now, I can also just drag something in, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a toolpath based on the size that we said the keychain was. So first things first, let's go ahead and create a toolpath. And I think I said it was 55. Oh, shoot, I might have to just measure it again. Let me unlock this first. Do I have another keychain over here so I don't have to take the other one out of the laser? Nope, of course I don't. Of course I don't. All right, so we're going to have to measure this guy again. So it is in length. In length, it is not wanting to be still, but in length, it is 54 millimeters. Okay. So we're going to do 54 millimeters right here. So 54. And then I think the height on this was like 30 something. So let me see what that is. So the height is 30 exactly. So we're going to make that 30. All right, so there's our tool path. Let me go ahead and lock that. There's our tool path that you guys see here. So this is where we're going to put our graphics inside of it. We're going to line this up in the laser first, then we're going to bring our graphics in, make it fit, and then we'll turn this final path off, okay? So to show you guys what that looks like from the laser perspective, let's switch back over here real quick. So of course, this is the keychain that we're going to be using, and we're just going to put this guy in there like that. And it looks like it is definitely in focus. Okay, so I'm going to leave this open for a second just so you guys can see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the preview button. We're going to see that little box shows up. So we just want to line that little box up. We can get that pretty close. All right, let's see if I can get this camera a little bit closer so you guys can see that. So we have that little box now going around the keychain. Hold on, let me get that. We have that little box now going around the keychain, letting us know that, that's exactly where we need it to be in order to put our graphics on it. All right, so let's get that done. And let me turn off the preview. Now we can close this. I'm gonna also turn on our air purifier just so we get a little bit of suction in this guy so we don't completely smoke out the studio. All right, so what are we gonna make? All right, so we're gonna drag something in here. We got Father's Day coming up, so I'm gonna put something Father's Day related up in here, okay? So let's do that. Let me find something cool that is Father's Day related, and then we're just gonna burn that onto this keychain. All right, so I'm gonna go over to the Googles and see what we can put on there. Maybe I can find some graphics or something, but mostly something Happy Father's Day or something along those lines. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. Happy Father's Day. Now, of course, I'm looking for a graphic. See if we can find an image. Maybe a PNG. Yep. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Keep looking, keep looking, keep looking. All right, so I'm going to grab this graphic, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, I do not want you giving your fathers ties or socks, okay? It is a no. It is a no-go, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and grab this one just because it's convenient. All right, so let me save this image. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Go back. All right, let me save this image. This is our Father's Day graphic. All right, so let's go back to our laser. And let's switch back over so you guys can see what's going on. All right, so we're going to drag that graphic in and we're going to fit it so that it fits onto our keychain. So let me grab the graphic here real quick. And let me drag this folder over and go to my downloads and find the Father's Day graphic. All right, let's grab our Father's Day graphic. There it is right there. Let's just drag this guy in like that. Let me close this window. All right, so here's our Father's Day graphic. It is too big. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of this dead space around it. So I'm going to go here to edit, and then I'm going to crop this guy. So I'm just going to grab the little crop tool right here, and we're just going to draw a box kind of around it just to crop it a little bit. And then we can kind of move that, and that'll get rid of some of that dead space, and just click OK. And then OK here. Now we have our little Father's emblem here. So now we can also make this smaller. So we're just going to drag that down and see if it's going to fit on our keychain. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. Maybe a little bit smaller so we don't lose those balloons. Okay, so let me zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, so there is our Father's Day business, I almost said business card. Our Father's Day keychain that we're going to run. All right, so we're going to be running wood. So let's go to our laser. I'm going to turn the rectangle off because we don't need that anymore. We're just going to be running this one right here, which is our image. We're going to go to our image. We know that we want this to engrave on wood. So we're going to do one pass, 1K. We're going to run this at 100% power. No, let's bring that power down. Let's bring it to 95% power. And we're going to bring the depth up to about 25%. Should be enough. Let's go ahead and hit our preview, see where this is falling at on the keychain. Take a quick look. All right, let me nudge that a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good to me. So it's ready for me to run it. So all I have to do now is just go and hit start. So all I got to do now is turn off the preview, and I'm going to go ahead and click on start and confirm. And then I'm going to switch over so you guys can see it engraving. All right, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it has already started to engrave onto the keychain. I may run this a second time just so we get it a little bit thicker or deeper. But we're almost done. Almost done. We're already at 60%. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to run it one more time just so it's going to be a little bit darker on this wood because this wood is very hard. So I'm going to go ahead and run it one more time. And here we go. The air purifier is on. It is definitely doing its job. All right, it's almost done, almost done. All right, we're at 73%. All right, it is done. It is done. All right, so let me go ahead and turn off this air purifier. Turn off our air filtration system. Yes, Richard, there is a little bit of smoke in the studio, but that's okay. All right, let's go to our top-down view here real quick. Let me grab this guy out. All right, that's a lot of smoke. Woo, that's a lot of smoke, y'all. Let me go ahead and close that door back. All right, so let me show you guys what we got. So here is our little keychain. Hopefully you guys can see that. So it says Happy Father's Day. We got a nice little tie and a couple of balloons. So this is what it looked like on the opposite side. So this would be really cool, you know, if you wanted to put like Dad's name on the back of this, or, you know, even if you had something to hold this up, you could even engrave onto the sides of this if you wanted to. But, you know, for this, I would just, you know, do something like that. Now, we do have some Father's Day graphics. So let me show you guys a couple of those while I'm thinking about it. So we're going to go ahead and leave this Father's Day where it's at. I'm going to turn the rectangle back on, and I'm going to move this Father's Day out. And I'm going to go over to our clip art. And we're going to look for something for Father's Day. Father's Day. Super Dad. There's a good one. Best dad ever. Dad, my hero. Okay. We got some good ones here. Here's a cute one. Here's a cute one right here that I think we could put on the back there. I'm just going to go ahead and select that, show it to you guys. So we have the kid and the dad, so we can make that smaller, like so. And then let's rotate that real quick, like that, about 90 degrees. And then we would throw that onto the opposite side of this. And I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. And then we're just going to throw that right about there. So this one we're going to turn off so it doesn't generate. And then this one right here, this one we're just going to just kind of maybe center it a little bit. Yeah, center it about right there. And then we're going to burn this on as well. Shoot, I thought you guys were watching with me. Hold on, let me switch back over to desktop. My bad, my bad. All right, so here's our Father's Day thing. Let's zoom in here so you guys can see that. So we're going to just engrave this onto the back of our keychain, okay? All right, so let me see what we want to do power-wise. So we're going to stick with the same amount of power. Nope, so we're going to bring that also up to about 25%. And 100% power, no, bring it down to 95. And 25% in depth, one pass. We're going to use our 450 nanometer laser, and we're just going to center this up. So let's go ahead and hit the preview just so we can see where everything is falling. And of course, I'll show you guys how we're lining this up. All right, so let's put that guy right about there. I think that's about right. Okay, so let me turn off the preview for a second and then turn off the rectangle and then hit the preview one more time. Okay. All right, it's ready to run. It's ready to run. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just hit start. Turn off the preview. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. This should be very quick. So let's give it a few seconds. You guys should be able to see it. All right, I can see it. It's not dark enough, so I'm going to run it one more time. Just so it matches the other side. All right, there we go. Boom, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done, babies. It's done. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me get it out. Y'all see all that smoke? All right, let's go ahead and close that door up real quick because I did not turn the air filtration system on. I did not. All right, so here is the first side right here where it says Father's Day. And then here is the dad and the child on the back. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it did come out really nice. You can feel it in the texture of the wood. So this would be a cute little Father's Day, keychain. and you could throw something on the back. Even you could throw dad's name on there. Maybe you want to be a little bit more creative. If you got, dad, you have brothers and sisters and stuff, you could add their little names around and make this a little bit smaller. You could use your imagination, guys. There's so many different things you can do, whether it's with wood, leather, acrylic, any of those materials. You're definitely going to be able to create something with this guy. So let me know what you think. Terry says, real nice. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. All right, so let's go back to our chat about things. Chat, tech, chat. All right, so let me go ahead and highlight the next item in the carousel. We're going to go spend a lot of time on that, guys. The next item in the carousel is this phone right here. This is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This has 256 gigabytes of internal storage. This has become one of my daily drivers, if not my daily driver. Now, you guys who've been following me for a while know I have quite a few iPhones. This is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 15 Pro Max is the iPhone that I use as a camera in the stream. This is the one that I'm usually switching to when I'm showing you guys things around the studio. So that is also another iPhone that I have. Yes, I am a little late to the game getting this sent out to me, the 16 Pro Max, but we have it finally here in the studio. And I'm excited about maybe the 17 Pro Max whenever that comes out. Maybe we'll get that in here as well. But anyway, if you're interested in this phone right now, guys, you can get it here on Amazon for as little as $1,096, guys. Let me take this down to the desktop so you guys can get a better look at it. So this is the phone. As it is, this is the one with the new photo button right here on the side that you can just kind of double tap that and it'll automatically open up the camera. You can soft press it and it'll open up some of the features like the zoom feature, for the phone as well. You can also double tap that again softly. Has it like softly? Yeah. Then you can switch between your zoom, your depth, your exposure, your camera modes, your styles, and also the tone. You can control all of that with that little button that's right here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do not use that button very often, but for people who are into those type of gimmicky features, hey man, it's there. You do you, boo-boo. And if it works for you, make it happen, Captain. But as far as the speed of the phone, the quality of the camera has been improved significantly over the 15 Pro Max. So if you are a photographer, you are a content creator, and you trying to future-proof yourself a little bit with a phone, an all-day phone, long battery life, something that you can use for all different types of content creation, recording, photos, videos, whatever the case it may be, controlling other devices. This guy's a win, guys. I'm still getting it set up the way I want it, but I'm very, very pleased with this phone, just in case you guys want to know. All right. But when it comes to live streaming and stuff like that, you guys know I have a variety of different items that have been sent out to me over the last year or so. And I use these all the time for live streaming, including, cameras like from brands like Osbot, Insta360, Sony, DJI, all of these different brands that we work with. And I got a bunch of their tech right here in the studio. But before we get to that, I got to show something to Terry, because Terry sent me a message yesterday talking about a radio that she bought. And I was thinking to myself, Terry, why would you not get this radio? And I guess maybe I forgot to send you the link. My bad. Okay, my bad. But check this out. If this is not in the carousel, it's not in the carousel. But of course, I got to show this radio off, which is super cool because, I live in Texas. So having a radio like this is a win, guys. This is a solar powered crank radio. So it has a solar panel right here on the top, and you guys can see I never took the plastic off of this thing, and I literally had this thing for over 3 years. It has a built-in light. It also has some plugs here in the back where you can charge other devices like a phone or tablet or whatever. You have AM, FM, and also the weather band on this guy as well. But what's unique about this radio, guys, is that it is a crank radio. So if your power goes out, all you got to do is pull this guy out and grab this little crank and just crank it up, just like that. And you're gonna burn some calories. You're gonna burn a few little calories, when you do this a couple of times. But now we can turn our light on, maybe. We can turn some of the features on. Did I not crank it enough? Hold on, let me check this out. Did I do something wrong? Am I cranking this guy the wrong way? Hold on, let me switch back over here. All right, there we go. So we got the light come on. We could turn the radio on. Let me put it on one of the stations. No, I'm not going to play any music because it's copywritten, but I'm just letting you guys see that it does work. This is a little portable crank radio that you can have at your home, office, put it in your car, whatever it is. It's got a built-in light, solar panel, so if the power goes out, you know, and it also has like a little reading lamp as well. You know, if you guys are interested in this, there's a variety of these here on Amazon. You can check them out. Got a nice little lanyard holder on here, so you can hang this off of a backpack or something. I just think it's a pretty cool little radio, crank radio / flashlight, all that kind of cool jazz. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. All right, let me put this thing away. But I was thinking about that when Terry told me about her little radio, and I came over as soon as I got here in the studio, and it used to be laying on the other side of my desk. I'm like, ooh, I got to grab that radio. So we have something to talk about radio related because Terry's into now to terrestrial radios. So there you go. There you go. All right, so let me close our laser software and get to our, what are we going to talk about now? All right, so we're going to start talking right now about live streaming recording gear. So one of the cool devices that I have that was sent to me by Ozbot, guys, is this guy right here. This is the Ozbot Talent. Now, you can buy this by itself. You can buy this as a kit, which I do highly recommend if you want to get the bundle, because that's going to give you 3 of the tail air cameras, as well as the remote for this guy as well. It does come with a little remote that you can either pair with the cameras or pair with the Talent and still control the cameras through the Talent. So you got a lot of flexibility. For my Instagram and TikTok content creators, yes, you can stream in the portrait orientation as well. So I'm gonna take this down to the desk and show you some close-ups of this guy and kind of give you guys a rundown on what we can do with this if you are interested in something like this. So let's go down, down, down to the desk. Boop, there we go. All right, so check it out. So this is the Ozbot Talent. Now, you guys have probably seen me talk about the YOLOBox Pro, the YOLOBox Mini, the YOLO Live InStream. I think I have the InStream in the carousel tonight. But anyway, this device, guys, allows you multiple ways of connecting cameras to it. You have 2 full-size HDMIs right here. You have a 3.0 USB-A right here. You can also plug in Ethernet. You have a quarter 20 right here for mounting this on like a tripod or a light stand or whatever. You can put in a full-size SD card, use that for recording because this is a live streaming device as well as a recorder. You can plug in your USB-C and output this to a monitor or to a computer and just use it as a controller. It does arrive with the 12-volt 1.5 amp plug, but you can also use the Sony MPF batteries that you guys see here. Now, what's really cool about this, guys, this device has a full graphical displayed audio suite. So any audio you connect to this is going to show up right here, including the microphone that I'm using right now in the stream. So here is the 3.5 for that microphone that I'm actually using right now. I'm just going to plug it in right here, and now it should ask me what this is, if it's line or mic. In this case, we want it to be mic, so it's going to be a little bit hotter. So I'm just going to click on mic, and you guys now should see the audio levels coming into this device. And yes, that is from this microphone right here, also outputting from the Rodecaster Pro. Now, if I was playing back a recorded video or something like that, I could go in here and I could adjust those audio levels as well. If any of the cameras connected to this has built-in microphones or microphones plugged into it, I'll be able to control that audio level as well, including muting them or soloing them just so I can hear them. But this is built into the device. You also have graphics. So you can go in here and you can have a countdown timer. You know, if you wanted to have a countdown timer at the beginning of your stream, you can do graphic overlays. So let's say, for instance, like in my case, you know, my old live stream setup was using these graphic overlays right here that says RomeKnowsTech.live with the clock up here at the top, you know, and the live stream, Amazon, all that stuff. Now, I don't have a camera connected to this yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Let me grab... let's grab this camera. All right, so here is one of the cameras that come in the bundle. So this is the Osbot Tail Air. Okay, so I just have it on this little tripod. It doesn't come with the tripod, but anyway, I have this also set up where it's going to work with SRT. Now you can also use NDI with these cameras. You can also plug in a USB. You can plug in your 3.5 audio interface to this guy as well. You also have, you can put an SD card in here for recording internally. You also have a micro HDMI right here that you can use. Go micro HDMI to full size HDMI if you wanted to plug in that way. But we are actually using this wirelessly. So we're actually going to use the SRT mode protocol. And I think this camera has enough power to turn on. If not, I'll grab the other one because I have been using these earlier today. And you guys can see I only have one little dot right here. So that means the battery is pretty low. But we'll see if it'll turn on. If not, I'll grab the other one. So we're waiting on the green light to turn on. As soon as we have our green light, we know it's connected, and we should see it show up also on the talent. So let's set this guy over here real quick. And now we should see here on the talent. Let me go ahead and close that. We should see that video feed pop up, and there it is right here. So now you guys can see, here I am on the screen. Drag this up a little bit so you guys can see that a little better. Now I have my remote control, so let me go ahead and turn this on as well. This remote control will control up to 3 of these cameras. Now we only have camera 1 on. I'm going to switch some of the other cameras on as well. But right now I can actually use this, switch over to camera 2, and now I can use this to actually control the camera. I can raise or lower, I can tilt, I can pan. I can also activate the human tracking with this as well, because the remote has human tracking, pet tracking. It also has a little laser pointer that you can use here. You have a photo and video button. You have a power button for turning your cameras on and off. And you also have a scene switching button up here, which is pretty cool. And you have a little hidden button down at the very bottom that you can also program. But for the sake of this live stream, I want you guys to see how easy it is for me to control this camera. I'm just going to set this guy down, and now I'm going to zoom in on myself or the microphone, and I'm going to tilt that up just a little bit, bring that back over, just so you guys can see how easy you could set up your live stream and be able to just go live, guys. So whether you're using Wi-Fi, whether you're using Ethernet, whether you're using whatever the case it may be, this bundle right now for $28.23 is going to give you the talent, 3 of the Tail Air cameras, the remote. It also comes with the Ethernet to Ethernet to HDMI cables. This kind of like a little adapter cables that come with it. I don't really use those, but they do come with it. So, you know, this is basically your live stream in a bundle. You can grab this guy, take it pretty much anywhere you want to go, you know, for home use, office use, man cave, she shed, church, concert, whatever it is, with permission. You can, you know, have a ready to go live streaming setup. And because of the way this is designed, guys, you can set it up like a real live stream. You know, you can have your startup screen, you can have your switch to video source, you can have pre-recorded videos, all of this. You can easily switch back and forth between any of these video sources. You can even give them instructions as what to do once it gets to the end of the video, like switch to another scene or whatever the case is going to be. So yeah, for $28.23, this is a wonderful, wonderful kit. Now, Osbot did just recently come out with a new camera, so let me grab that and show it to you so you guys have something to compare this to. Let me unplug this real quick. All right, so this was recently sent out to me by Osbot, guys. This is the Osbot Tail 2 versus the Osbot Tail Air. which is this guy here. So I want you guys to see the difference in the size of these two cameras. Now they both are PTZ cameras, but this is actually a PTZ-R, meaning that it can also rotate. This camera can rotate into portrait or landscape without moving the body. It rotates internally. This one does not have that ability. You would actually have to turn this one sideways in order to get the portrait orientation, or rotate the video on the device that you're using, and that could be a computer or a tablet or whatever the case is going to be. But you guys see there's a significant difference in the size, okay? And I also showed you guys really quickly how you can connect other things to this this camera, which is the Tail Air. All right, the Tail 2 has basically got an upgrade. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by an upgrade. This guy here, let me make sure I am highlighting it. Give me a second. There we go. All right, so the Tail 2 also has the newest update, and that is much larger connection ports, right? So we have our headphone jack right here. We have our line in. We have a line in. We have our mic in. We have a full-size HDMI on this guy. We have our RS 232s. That is for controlling like a PTZ controller. You have your SDI input right here. You also have your Ethernet, and that's power over Ethernet. You also have a USB, 2 of them here. You have one for data and one for power. This has built-in fans. This guy also takes up to a 1 terabyte SD card right here. And it obviously has a much larger lens, so you guys can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and power this guy on as well. So let's go ahead and turn this on. This is also connected via SRT, but of course you can also use NDI, you can use cables, you can use a variety of different ways to connect this. But I do have this paired up with our remote and also connected to the Ozbot Talent here. All right, so let's set this guy up somewhere high so I can show you guys what it can do. So first things first, we're going to wait for the video to connect to the Talent so that I can show you guys that and use that with the remote. All right, so here is this video source right now, and then here's the secondary video source. Let me go ahead and adjust that. Oops, wrong one. Let me switch to that camera, and I'm gonna bring that down a little bit and over just a touch, and then I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so you guys can see now, and I'm going to show you guys also how I have this set up in relations to the desk. All right, so here is the Talent on my desk. Here is our remote. Here is the Ozbot Tail Air, and then here is the Ozbot Tail 2. Okay, so I just have this sitting up on top of the laser just so it's in front of me. But again, like I said, they are all wireless. This guy here is just sitting on the desk. Maybe I wanted it to point at this Talent. Maybe I was doing a demo or something showing you guys how I use this. I could easily just grab this remote right here, switch to camera 2, tilt this guy down like so, turn it a little bit, then switch over. Now I can actually use this camera to show you guys close-ups of this device. Let me go ahead and get that a little bit further down. Let's turn this off to the side so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. I can also zoom out, or I can zoom in on a product. This is going to be great for like product style videos or whatever the case is going to be. So yeah, and then you can also set this as a preset. You know, if you already had your scenes and everything set up, then you can just press one of these little preset buttons, and I'll show you what the preset buttons do. So if I press preset 1, you guys see it goes to preset 1, preset 2, goes to preset 2, preset 3. Let me go ahead and press preset 3 here. Then it's going to go to whatever preset 3 is. And you can also incorporate zoom ins and things like that. So a lot of cool features. Like I said, we got a lot of Ozbot cameras over here. Here's the second Tail Air that's back here. And some of our other smaller Ozbot cameras are over here on this desk. So I just want you guys to see that there is an amazing amount of tech that is available to you guys. So if you are interested in live streaming, if you are interested in content creation, there's so many different devices, guys. And trust me, you're going to find something within your price range. Now, the new, the Tail 2 is $1,259. I know that seems like that's a pretty big pill to swallow, but it has a ton of features, guys, including the ability to rotate that video source. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here to my show list, and I'm going to go to my 9x16 show. Now, this is what I would use, say, for instance, if I was live streaming to, Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or something like that. Now, I don't have a camera set up here, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab one of my whoops, not that one. I'm going to go here and grab. I'm going to create. Let's grab that. I want to grab one of these cameras. Hold on, guys. So that one is on. Why is it not seeing the cameras? Hold on. Why is it not? That is weird. Oh, I have to enter all the information. That's going to take too long. I'm not going to go through all that because I have to enter all the information about the camera into this. I'm not doing that right now. But anyway, once you have that saved, it is just saved, and then you can go back over to your presets, any presets you have saved up, and then you can then go in and choose whatever graphics or whatever you have saved. Now, the cool thing about this is once you save these graphics, they'll always be there. And, as soon as you start up everything, or some people, like my friend Anthony, he leaves his on all the time. He just turns the screen off. That way, when he walks into his studio and he wants to switch over and start live streaming or creating content, all he's got to do is, just tap on the screen, wake this guy up. You can also look here at some of the other features, including the ability to control this with another device like a computer. So you can actually log into this device with your Mac or PC, and that could be your producer, director, another, content creator, and they'll be able to switch the scenes for you, add graphics, all kind of cool stuff that you can do with this talent. And pairing it up with a powerful camera combination is a win. Now, you do not have to use the Osbot cameras. You could use this with a variety of different cameras. So you can use this with, GoPros. You could use this with DJI cameras. You can use this with Insta360 cameras. You can use this with a Sony camera. You could use this with a Nikon, Canon, whatever the case is going to be, guys. If you're connecting it using, cable and HDMI cable, and those cameras can support a clean video feed out, it's a win. It's a win. All right, we got Holy Chat in the Amazon stream. Welcome, Holy Chat. Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's see what do we got next. So Osbot has some small cameras too that can basically do the same thing. Now these are not, let me grab one. These are not going to be the similar. They're similar in their shape and their form factor. They are also PTZ cameras. Now, what's different about these cameras is that these cameras do require them to be plugged into a device in order for them to work. Meaning, you can't just, take this camera like the other ones, just go out, because they have an internal battery and just go run around and record with them. No, this has only one USB input right here. You're going to plug that into your laptop, your tablet, or the talent, and then you'll be able to bring that video source in and use that for streaming or recording or whatever the case it is. But it does have human tracking, pet tracking. You can also get a remote for this guy. Now, there's two versions of this camera. This is the Osbot Tiny 2 Lite. This is the Osbot Tiny 2 Lite, which is this guy here. There's also a SE version of it. So we also have this SE version. Actually, let me go here because it's going to make a lot more sense. All right, so the one with the red ring around the lens, this is the 4K variant. This one is the Osbot SE, which is the 1080p variant. Now, I do have it turned sideways. That's what I was talking about earlier, so that I could connect this to things like the InStream or another device that I want to stream vertically. Portrait orientation, then I'd have to turn the camera sideways on these. But if I'm using the other camera, which is the Tail 2, I don't have to rotate the cameras because they can do it internally. But with these smaller cameras, you just position them on their little tripods, with the side angle or something like that, and you'll be able to switch back and forth, especially if you're going to be streaming over here on Instagram or on TikTok or something like that. But anyway, you got two options to these cameras. The SE right now you can get here on Amazon for only $99, guys. That's this little guy right here. And then you can keep going. You can keep going. So they have other cameras. Let me go ahead and highlight this other Osbot camera right now. Let's see. Shortcut. What do we got? Shout out to King Abel on TikTok. What it do? What it do, fam? Shout out to King Abel on TikTok. All right, all right. Welcome to the family. All right, so one more camera that we have from Osbot, and that is this little guy right here. This is the Osbot Meet 2. So this is a very small kind of GoPro action camera style, no monitor on the back, little 4K camera that is really cool. Now this one comes like with a little magnetic base. You can just pop this guy on here. This base is designed for you to be able to mount this directly onto like a monitor. It also has a 1/4 underneath here so that you could mount this onto like one of these little light stands or mic stands or camera stands or whatever it is. So you got a lot of flexibility, guys, when it comes to these little cameras. There's always going to be something that is going to, I see Holy Chat is saying hi to King Abel, King as well. So welcome, King. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. All right, so let me put some of this stuff away because y'all know I be having stuff all over the place. But anyway, if you guys have any questions whatsoever about any of the tech we've talked about so far tonight, whether it is one of these little cameras or even audio gear. So I showed you guys the microphones that I'm using right now, which is this microphone here. Now this is the Rode Procaster. For those who may not know, I do have this connected to my Rodecaster Pro 2. So let me show you that real quick. So this is the Rodecaster Pro 2 that you guys see on my desk. So this is my audio interface. This is where the sound effects are coming from. This is where
my voice effects come from. So when you guys are watching me and I'm constantly changing my voice.
Boom, babies, this is how I do it. All I gotta do is push a button and then next is a new crazy person in the stream. That's right. Yup. So sometimes when I get upset and Richard be making me mad, I have to use this button right here. I call this the Richard button because Richard make me say stuff that I'm not supposed to say when I'm live. And I be like, that Richard is a bitch. I'm a kick that in the boy, y'all know what I'm saying. You know, sometimes you just want to kick Richard right in his. You know what I'm saying? But yes, the Rodecaster has all that jazz, baby.
Maybe you want to sound like a robot in your live stream. Maybe you want to sound like a baby robot in your stream. All of that is available using the Rodecaster Pro 2.
Boom! Just like that. But anyway, this is my microphone right here.
the Rode Procaster. All right, so this is the microphone that I use most days for all of my streams, all that kind of jazz. But I do recommend some of these portable wireless microphones. These right here are some of my favorites. I use these a ton before I got the Pocket 2. Hold on, let me put this camera away and move some other cameras so I don't wind up knocking them on the floor. All right, so connecting to something like this Talent right here. Check it out. So these are the Anchor Works M650 wireless microphones. All right, so you can get these guys right here on Amazon, guys. The kit is $199.99. You get 2 omnidirectional microphones. You also get this really cool little receiver. It comes with adapters for iPhone, the old iPhones like the 14 and before, and also the newer iPhones like the 15 Pros and above with the USB. So you have those adapters, or you can just use, you know, your standard 3.5 to plug into something like this. And yeah, I use these a lot. I use these actually in combination with my iPhone when I was using my 15 Pro Max to do a lot of my video production. So this was kind of my setup, using these microphones and my iPhone. That's what I was using every single day to create content. All right. So we talked a lot about Osbot and you know, I'm a fan. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, off jump, I am a fan. But they were not the first on the market with these type of tech. I have been using YOLO Live, YOLO Box's products for quite a long time. So here's the YOLO Box in stream. You guys can see that. As you guys can see here, this is the YOLO Box. This is the YOLO Live in stream. As you guys see here, this has 2 HDMI inputs, 1 USB input. You also have Ethernet and you have HDMI out. We have USB here as well. On this side, you can put in a full-size SD card. This one also has a SIM card slot, where the Talent does not have a SIM card slot. You have line in, mic in, headphone jack on this guy as well. Now the housing on this is rubberized, but you know it's served its purpose very well. I've never had any problems with it. It does have a built-in fan venting. Now this is larger than the Talent, but you know they have a variety of different devices. This is designed primarily to stream in that portrait orientation, like what I was mentioning before. So if you wanted to use this Talent to stream to Instagram or TikTok, you could. This is designed to stream to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or whatever. And with this device, you can also stream to up to 2 different platforms at the same time. Now, right now, the YOLO Live in-stream, guys, is $998. I have used this a variety of times on a ton of different shows, client work, you know, personal stuff, as well as you know, professional, and it's just worked like a, you know, like a superstar. Now this little stand that you see here does not come with it. You have to buy that separately, but this as it stands is a wonderful device. I've never had any problems with it. One of the cool things I love about YOLO Live and YOLO Box is they're constantly updating the firmware on these devices and adding new features to them. So connecting this to a camera is also very simple, whether it's HDMI, whether it's USB, however you want to connect it. Now, because of the orientation of this is why you would need something like the camera I was showing you guys earlier, where we have the camera oriented like this. So that way, when you plug this in, it's going to already be in the right orientation, you know, for this type of screen. And of course, you know, you could just have this in your normal 16 by 9 and just bring everything in. But I'm going to just see if I can connect this real quick. Let me find a USB cable and plug this guy in, because I'm looking for a cable. I probably won't find one. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can find a USB cable here real quick and show you guys. This might work. This might work, but there is no guarantee. There's no guarantee that it's going to work. Because I've had problems with these little cables, these little short cables. But anyway, let's try plugging this in and then plugging this into our camera here real quick. And I'm also going to turn off this big camera and power that guy off and put that out of the way. All right, so this camera, is it connected? I can't tell. Hold on. There we go. All right, so it's plugged in and now it's connected. All right, so it is connected. All right, so now we can go here to our video source. We can go to USB, or we can go to local files. So we're going to go and let's go to Instagram as an example. Let's say I wanted to go live on Instagram. I could just scroll over here to live, and then I would be able to see our video source if it is seen. Is it not seeing the video source? Hold on. I can't tell if it sees the video source or not because it is not. I think it's this little cable. Yep, it's this cable. So let me get the right one, see if I can find it. And let's also turn on our video preview. And let me see if I have a good cable with an adapter. All right, let's see if I got a good cable with an adapter that I can plug in here real quick. And then show you guys how this works. So let's plug in this USB cable. And then let's plug it into this camera. All right, let's see what we get. I'm just waiting on it to wake up. All right, it's looking down for some reason, but all right, let's go back. I don't know why it's not showing the camera. That's weird. It is not showing our camera. All right, let me try a different app. So let's try that. Let's go all the way back out. I think I might need to do the update on this guy. But it's definitely not working. But it usually works just fine. So it's kind of weird. Let's close the app. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, let's go out. And let's go over to TikTok. Let's see if we can get in TikTok. Let's close this. All right, it's not letting me switch. Let me try restarting this guy. All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to restart it. Maybe I should have had the cameras already connected to it. All right, because that happens on some of these devices. You need the camera to be connected to it first. So let's see what we get. Let's give it a second to reboot and see if we can bring the video source in so you guys will be able to see it. All right, let's see how many other things we also have left in the carousel. We don't got a ton of stuff left, so I'm going to go ahead and roll on through these other items. You know, it's the weekend. It's the weekend. Samantha's in the house. Welcome, yeah! Samantha. Welcome to the stream. All right, let's go back over to Instagram. Let's click here. Let's go to live stream, and there's the camera. All right, you guys can see that. And I should also be able to expand this to a full screen, so now you guys can see. I can move this camera around. I can rotate this around toward myself, turn the camera up toward myself like so. Now, you know, because I put it in this orientation, I won't be able to really control it as well with the remote because of the orientation that it's in. But the other camera that I'd mentioned, you would definitely be able to, you know, connect to this. You can also bring in live guests. You know, if you want to bring some people into your stream, that's pretty cool. You got all of this stuff built into this device, guys. I mean, there's just a ton of features here. You got layers that you can bring in, so you can bring in your own graphics. You know, I could just turn that on like we have here and, you know, turn on this graphics. You know, if I was live streaming over to Instagram or whatever, and I was starting up the stream, I just want to use these, you know, these are some graphics I used to use a couple of months ago, but you guys get the idea, you know. So it has a ton of built-in features. So if you guys are interested in any of that kind of stuff, it is all here for you guys to check out. All right, so let me go ahead and also show you that you can stream to more than one platform. So the way you would do this is you would go here, choose your first app. So we're going to say that's going to be my first app. And then I can go here and then choose a second app. Let's say maybe the second app is going to be Facebook or something like that. Then I could go in and choose to go live. And I could click on go live, and then I could, you know, have both of those at the same time, streaming to both of the platforms at the same time. So that's, you know, pretty cool. Hope I didn't mess up my Facebook stream doing that. But anyway, you guys get the idea. All right, so let's go ahead and shut this guy down. But if you guys are interested in this, you can find it right now over on you can click on it right down there in the carousel right now. Or you can go over to my storefront, which is romeknowstech.live, and you'll be able to find this guy and get yourself one of these. If you still have questions about it and you're not sure before you do that checkout and you still got questions that maybe were not answered tonight, feel free to reach out to me, guys, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you might find me, and put your questions in the comments, guys, or send me a private message and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. I want you guys to make sure when you purchase one of these items that you are getting exactly what you are looking for, exactly what you want. All right, let me just make sure this guy is turned off. I think it's turned off. If not, I'll worry about it later. All right. So let's put some of these other pieces of tech away. Put this little camera here back, way back there somewhere. All right, so we may tomorrow night do some gameplay. So y'all let me know if y'all down for that. I won't be live on Amazon tomorrow night, but I will be live if you guys want to do gameplay over on YouTube and Facebook. And we could do some Luna games. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. If you want to do that, I'll set some time for tomorrow night for us to play some games like we used to back in the day. All right, let me make sure this guy is turned off as well. Yes, it is. So our talent is off as well. And let's put that away. All right. All right, let's see what do we got next. What is our next item in the carousel? So the next item in the carousel, real quick, is a battery. And let me grab it. All right. So this battery was just recently sent to me, guys. Right now you can get it here on Amazon for $88.99. So this is a 100 watt, technically it's a 97.2 watt hour power station. You have two USB A's, two USB C's. You have a built-in little like camping light here that you can turn on. You guys see it has 3 modes. It has an SOS mode. It has a flashing mode, like a warning flashing mode, and then a regular SOS mode that you can turn on. That's going to be great in case of an emergency. It's really nice. I like how you can see the electronics on this guy. You also have an AC plug. It's only one, but you do have an AC plug back here. So if you wanted to charge something like a laptop or a tablet or a light or whatever the case it may be, you can just plug this guy in. Richard says there is a extra $10 off coupon, which brings the price down on this guy to $78.99. $78.99. It is mostly plastic. I'll show you guys here up close. It is mostly plastic, but it is that good kind of plastic, if that's a real thing. But it's solid. You can tell the plastic is thick, high quality. When I squeeze on this, I don't feel any give on this guy whatsoever. I don't know what the water standing is on this. I don't think this is waterproof in any stretch of the imagination. But I've had things like this where I've always been concerned about humidity getting inside of them because, of course, I live down here in Texas. But there's enough venting on this that I think even if there was some moisture to get in here, it would probably evaporate pretty quick. So really nice design. I like the colors on it as well. So if this is something you guys might be interested in, great price. Richard just said you can get it right now here on Amazon for $78.99, $10 off coupon on this guy. So definitely check it out. Sammy over on TikTok, what it do? Yeah! Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right, what else we got? Come on over, hang out with us on Amazon. Let me go ahead and check. Why am I not seeing my TikTok comments? Hold on, y'all. Let me see what's going on with TikTok. All right. Now I can see it. I see Joy is over there on TikTok. Richard's over there on TikTok. Let's see, who else do we have? I see Sammy's over there on TikTok. All right, we're almost there. Let me see if I can scroll this down a little bit further. Nope, I think Sammy was the last person to join the stream. Join over on TikTok. Right. I gotta set this up in a way maybe for the next stream where I can see all of the windows, but for some reason TikTok's chat does not show up on my screen so I can see it here, nor have it displayed like I normally do, down here on this side right here. You guys see the little banner right there. But we'll see. I got to figure out all of these other little, because I just started multi-streaming, so we got chat going everywhere. We got chat all over the place, so I definitely need to take care of that. Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. All right, what do we got next? So the next item is going to be super fast. I don't even know if I even need to go too far with it. That is this chair right here. This is an amazing gamer chair. You can get it right now here on Amazon, guys, for $299.99. This is one of my favorite chairs. It's got a nice little headrest right here. It also has a vibrating lumbar support. I just leave it in the chair. I don't actually have it plugged into anything, but it just gives you that extra little lumbar support back there, for comfort. Richard know what I'm talking about. Richard know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now looking over YouTube, man, we got a lot of comments over on YouTube as well. Let's see what we got going over on Facebook. Do we have a bunch of comments coming from Facebook? Nope, not a ton, but a lot elsewhere. So that is a win. Thank you guys, all of you, for showing up on your respective platforms. Yeah. So this is something that we're going to do every single night, guys. I mean, at least 5 days a week, we'll be doing this here on Amazon. I'm constantly getting new products in. So we'll be streaming on Amazon, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok as well, talking about products, and like I said, I talk about these things. That's just a part of the platform, but you guys know we try to have fun. That's why I was talking about the game nights as well. Now this little product right here is great product for some of my gamers out there, because this is going to allow you to transmit from your phone, from your tablet, from your computer to a large screen monitor, to maybe a projector. So you have an HDMI transmitter receiver kit right here in this little box. These are very, very travel friendly. Now they do require power, but they come with the adapters, so you can plug your little power source into these. So you can use a variety of different power sources. You can use things like these power banks. You can use you can use your camera batteries, you can use wall power, you can use AC, DC power, you can use a variety of different things to power these, so even televisions, if you're plugging them into them, a lot of them you will be able to get power from the televisions by just running an additional USB into one of the outputs on the back that can power the receiver or transmitter, or whichever one you're using. Most likely your TV is going to be the receiver. The transmitter is going to be coming from the computer or camera or whatever device. These are going to be great for conferences, for weddings, and all of that kind of cool jazz. Now, the bundle itself, the kit itself, is right now $127.49, and there's 15% off. 15% off on that guy as well. So you guys might want to check that out. Now, one of my favorite new products that I have here in the studio is this guy right here. I know, don't get it mixed up with my lightsaber. This is not my lightsaber, but it's kind of like my lightsaber. So I'm gonna go ahead and power up my lightsaber, because this is gonna really come in handy. So let's go ahead and power up the lightsaber. All right, we got the lightsaber on, ready to go. I'm just going to put that off to the side for a second. And this device right here is a portable fog machine for my friends over at Cobor. This is the CF5. So let me go ahead and power this guy on real quick. Little LED screen right here at the bottom, lights up. You can adjust the amount of fog out from this, as well as the strength of the fan. It has these magnetic connectable tops. So one is, this one is probably my favorite, because this is the one I use when I'm doing like the dry ice effect, when I want to have like dry ice on a desk or something. This comes in handy. But this one is also super cool, because let me show you what we got here. I go ahead and pop that guy back on. I'm also going to bring the power up on this additional fan, and also change the LED color. So you guys see that? It has a little colored light. So let's go ahead and put some fog in the room. Let's put some fog in the room. Let's put some
Fog in the room. Fog in the room. Let's put some fog in the room. Fog in the room. Let's put some fog in the room. Let's put the fog in the room. All right, here we go. Fog in the room. Righty then. And then if you have your lightsaber, you got that cool, smoky atmosphere.
that smoky effect. Check it out. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? You know what I'm saying? So if you're a photographer, videographer, whatever the case it is, you want to put a little haze in the room, you got some lasers going on or something like that, guys, this is a win. Now, like I said, everything you need for this little kit right here comes in the bundle. Let me go ahead and turn these fans down. But yeah, you can adjust the output of these guys. I'm going to go ahead and bring that one down. You can adjust the output of this. You can use it for product photography, product videos. Let me turn off my lightsaber here real quick. All right, so we got our lightsaber off. I think it's off. But anyway, you guys can check this out. It comes with a really nice little travel case. The heads are interchangeable. It does come with a tank, and it also comes with 60 milliliters of the fog juice as well. So pretty much everything you need right in the box to get started. So definitely check this guy out. All right, so let me go ahead and power this guy off and get to our next product, because it's almost time for Rome to get off this stream and make some dinner. So let me put this guy away and grab our next product. All right, so the next product we're going to take a look at is from our friends over at 00 Robotics. That would be this little flying camera, or this little pocket flying drone. It's foldable. As you guys can see, you can fold it up. It's smaller than my phone, but it's thicker than my phones. You guys can see that. Put it in your pocket. Backpack, you know, Richard's big bell bottom, rollerblading pants, whatever it is. He might have 3 or 4 of these flying around. Now, you only have 2 buttons. Your propellers are protected with this little mesh cage. So let me show you guys that real quick. Here we go. So you guys can see we have this plastic mesh that goes all the way around the propellers. Top and bottom, you have a ground sensing sensor here at the bottom. This has a dual axis gimbal, little LED light right here to power this guy on. You just press and hold this little light. Now, mine did come with 2 batteries. So for the same unit, with 2 batteries and the charger, it's going to be $399, okay? You might find some better prices. You might find some discounts out there on this guy, but I'm telling you, this guy is amazing. So you have 2 main buttons. The first button is going to be your power button and your launch button. The second button, which is the smaller little black button here, controls these little features here. So if you press one of those,
zoom out, follow, orbit, bird eye, custom, hover.
so you can go through those different modes. There is a little small remote that you can buy and program from a company called 8-Bit Do. It's like a little gamer controller that you can actually map to this and be able to control it, similar to a controller for a regular drone. All right, so let's put this guy in the air. Let's put this guy in the air. So all I got to do now is press this little button right here, and it's 30 seconds hover. It's gonna take off. Boom, there we go. All right. And then when you're ready for it to land, all you gotta do is put your hand underneath it, and it will land. It will just land right in your palm, guys. You know, just that simple. So if you're going on a trip, you know, camping, whatever it might be, you want to be able to get some, you know, epic shots. Just throw a drone up in the air, get some orbit shots, some tracking shots. It will track you and follow you. So it's a really cool, really cool little drone. I've had a ton of different drones. 2 drones that I like the most. One of them being this drone right here, and the next one is my everyday commercial drone, which is from our friends over at DJI, which is this guy right here. So this is the DJI Air 3S. This is my work drone. This is my leisure drone. The difference between the 2 are, you know, easy to explain, but this drone right here can fly up to over 60 miles an hour, where this one can't even come close to that. But that one is still a lot of fun. But this one can do 60 miles an hour. It has 2 built-in cameras. It has a 70 millimeter camera. It has a 24 millimeter camera. This one has a ton of features. Now I got the Fly More combo. The Fly More combo does come with the battery charger. You get 3 batteries for this guy as well. The you know, fully charged battery will give you about 35 to 40 minutes of flight time, depending on what kind of modes you're using, and depending on which controller you got with your bundle. Now this is the RC2 controller, which is a 5.5 inch screen. It has the programmable buttons on the back, touch screen. 4 antennas. This guy can, control it up to about 20 miles away, even though you're not supposed to go more than 4 miles line of sight, but you can if you're in some kind of rural area where you can kind of get away with something like that, flying in, G airspace. You do you, boo boo. I don't recommend it, but it can be done. I've seen many people do it. Return to home is amazing on this thing. Even if it loses GPS, it'll create a 3D map where it can find its way home and land literally right about wherever you saw it. Now, if you guys saw the video I did recently where I was using this camera right here to track the drone just to see how well this would track something small. And I mean, this drone was flying all over the place, guys, and I was moving it around, and this little camera was able to track it with no problem whatsoever. So, guys, I'm telling you guys, there's some amazing tech out there. So definitely just, put these things on your radar, especially depending on what you want to do. Maybe you're a teacher, professor, instructor, DIY person, maybe you're looking to expand your side hustle, whatever the case it may be. There's so many things you can do with this tech. And again, that's what I'm here for. If you guys have any questions whatsoever about any of this tech, I got you. That is what I am here for. All right, so let's talk about these two little things real quick, and I'm gonna kind of wrap it up from there. All right, so we have this battery bank and we have this battery charger. This is a USB charger, 100 watt. This one has the retractable prongs, as you guys can see here. This is from our friends over at Ugreen. This has 3 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A. It is very portable, and I love the fact that it has those retractable prongs because you can just easily throw this in your backpack, bag, whatever it is. And those batteries for that drone do require up to 60 watts, to charge it in a timely manner. So yes, this definitely comes in handy, 100 watts. Even some of the cases that I have actually even have a formed area for this charger, or a charger like this. You can just drop it in there because you will need it. I'm telling you, you're going to need it if you get out there and do, any type of, all day flight or something like that, or going on a day trip. It's a must have. Now, this little guy right here is also from Ugreen. This is a 145 watt power brick. You have 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A, nice little LCD right here on the screen. This is very portable as well. It is plasticky, but it is rock solid, guys. I have been using this guy for over 2.5 years. Now, this thing I know right now it's only got about 38% power on it because I use these things all the time to charge up my tech right here in my home office studio space. This is a win. I'm telling you, check it out as well. Now, something that came along recently that kind of blew my mind is this backpack right here. As a working photographer, you can just imagine Rome has a ton of backpacks. I have, Low Pros and so many different backpack brands that I've been using for years for my lights, for my cameras and lenses and all that kind of stuff. And I always wanted to be able to put one of these portable, small 300 watt batteries into one of these backpacks. So when I go out, I can maybe power a small strobe. Like a lot of my older strobes are Pro Photo. They don't have internal batteries. So you got to be able to power them off of some type of, power source, AC power, or a very powerful battery bank. And I just could never find a backpack that I could fit one of those batteries in, and then it was still going to be enough space to add all of my other stuff. So Blue Yeti came out with this guy right here. This is the Blue Yeti Hands-Free 1. So you got a lot of storage right here, individual pockets right here in the front. You have 2 sections in the front as well. One, I would call it like your day trip section. You can put like your shirt, I'll show you guys here. So I could put in here my shirt. I could put some pants. I could put my drone flight vest jacket. So if I'm out doing commercial work and I have to have this the safety vest on, I can put all of that stuff in this front section here, and everything just fits in there. And this also has an expansion area, so you can actually make this wider, which is really cool. All right, let me make sure I don't tear up my jacket and stuff that guy in there. Get in there. All right. And then the next pocket section right here is where I normally keep my drone and cameras and stuff like that. So I do have this pull foam section right here, as you guys can see. I can put the drone, the controller, the batteries, cables, all of that stuff right here. And I still got another little section up here at the top where I can put, like, you know, I don't know, you know, just everyday things that you might need. You know, I don't know, in some of your cases, it might be, you know, toiletries for overnight travel. It could be shaving utensils. It could be anything you can put in there, guys. It could be small compact cameras. It could be something as small as, you know, the talent and a camera and a light or something like that. So a lot of cool stuff. But you see this open section right here. You guys can see right through the backpack. So what that is for is this battery right here. So this battery fits inside of the backpack. So let me put it in so you guys can see it. All right. Now you guys can see the battery is inside of the backpack. So you have AC and DC power delivery on the backpack. You have AC power input on this backpack battery. This is 300 watts. There's also a hands-free 2 that has a 700 watt battery. This is a 300 watt battery, but you also have your AC. You have 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB-As. You can also plug a portable solar panel into this as well and charge it on the go. You got your sections here for like your water bottles. You can even use this top section up here for some other additional storage, you know, on top of where the battery goes in, guys. This is a win. This is a win. For any of my content creators out there, you know, if you travel a lot, you know, you're going to rural areas, you're going to you know, areas where you may not easily be able to power and charge things. Having a battery that you can travel with in your backpack. So you up there in the woods doing a cool, you know, lakeside, you know, photo shoot. My photographers know what I'm talking about. You're out there with your model. You know, you need to be able to charge your tablet, charge your phone, charge whatever you need to charge while you're out there just you're thinking about creating, and you're not worried as much about, you know, oh man, where am I going to charge this battery? I'm going to have to go all the way back to the truck, you know, 3 miles that way just to put these things on charge. No, just plug it right in, right there, and it's a win. It's a win. It's literally that easy. So right now, that is $429. But I'm pretty sure Richard has found a coupon, which he has. Richard says for the hands-free one, there's an extra $80 off.
$80. 80. $80 off. Okay, you feel me?
$80 off. That's going to bring it down to $349. $349 for that cool backpack. And before you ask, nope, it only comes in one color, which is the Blue Yeti blue, okay? It does not, I wish it came in other colors, but it only comes in the Blue Yeti blue, so, you know, yeah, they only made that one color style, so we just got to work with, you know, what they gave us. But I like it. I like it. All right, I'm going to be ending up my stream here in a minute, but I'm going to show you guys something here real quick. Let me go ahead and switch over to my desktop. So my friend over at Cleveland Fashionista is live right now. I see Lewis is over there. I see Holy Chat's over there. I see Richard's over there. I want y'all to go over after this stream and show her some love. Show her some love because she is good people. Let me go ahead and drop a little hello in the comments as well. Y'all know how we do. Sharing that love. Go by and say hello, guys. I'm about to wrap up my stream, but go by and show her some love because she is an amazing person. And ask her about the babies. That's her 2 dogs. So she's got 2 cute little lap dogs. And I mean, they are amazing. They are funny. So definitely go check it out. All right, so let me go ahead and get ready to wrap this up real quick because I got to make dinner. I gotta make dinner, my babies. All right, so the last item we have listed in the carousel are these drawstring backpacks. Now you can get these right here on Amazon, guys, for $11.99. Now you get 10 of these. You can get them in solid colors or a variation of colors. Now, what we use these for, of course, you could use them for whatever you want to use them for. You could use them like a day trip backpack like Richard does, you know, when he's out there rollerblading, riding through restaurants, stealing people's fries and just throwing them in his backpack. That's what he uses it for. Don't be a menace like Richard, y'all. Don't be a menace like Richard, okay? Be a good person. Be a good person. So the way we use these backpacks is that we actually fill them with items that we buy right here on Amazon in bulk. Toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, Band-Aids, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, all that good jazz. And we have these backpacks with us everywhere we go. And when we run into someone who is out there, guys, flying a sign, asking for help, you know, saying they're looking for work, saying they're looking for food, we just pass them off one of these bags. And I'm going to tell you guys, the light in their eyes when they see somebody, you know, trying to look out for them, showing them some love, that is just another reinforcement from the universe that there are still good people on this planet that care about other people selfishly. Yes, I know a lot of you are just like me when it comes to that. And I want to encourage you guys to do that on a regular basis. Even if you don't get these backpacks, I'm cool with that. Get you some big Ziploc bags, get you some whatever you want to do. Save up some of them bags that you get that, you know, come from the big box stores and fill those with items as well. And of course, you can do exactly the same thing that I'm describing with these guys right here. Just make it happen, my babies, make it happen. All right, so it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. So it's time for me to do that thing. Y'all know, boom. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing in the world each and every single day, guys. Be the pebble in the pond. Be the pebble in the pond. Start the ripples so that others will be inspired by things that you do and encouraged to emulate, duplicate, whatever they got to do good things in the world. It's a win, and it's a must do. All right, if you guys are not already following my man Richard over on TikTok and you want to see some funny, crazy bloopers, what we were talking about earlier, make sure you're following Richard over on TikTok. Richard. Drop it, bro.
Drop it like it's hot, bro.
Drop your link down in the comments so that they can find you over on the TikTok. And come on through, hang out with your boy. And I'm telling you, you're following Rico Man over there on the TikTok. Rico Man, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. Rico Mano 99. You're gonna see some funny bloopers. Probably gonna make a blooper about what I just said right then, right there. But yeah, he's dropping them bloopers like he's crazy, guys. I'm telling you, you will be laughing for hours. I am not kidding. I am not exaggerating. I am not gilding the lily. For those of my British friends out there, they know what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah. Y'all know how we do. All right, it's time for me to say them magic words, and get on up out of here. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. I'm out of here. Love y'all. See y'all right back here in 48 hours, 7 p.m. right here on Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. There we go. I got them all out. Yes, Richard, my angel numbers today were 555. So let me go ahead and drop that 555 on Richard's head, just like that. Just drop it on his head. Just drop that 55 on Richard's head. But anyway, I'm going to hit you up a little bit later after I make dinner, Richard, as you know. But if you got some new bloopers in the works, bro, get at your boy, because you know I need a little laughter in my life every single day. That's why I thought it was hilarious to send you what was on my television, that Casey and the Sunshine Band had somehow come onto my television last night, Boogie Nights, Boogeyman was on last night on my TV, and the first thing I thought was, man, I gotta take a picture of this and send this to Richard. He is not gonna believe this. But anyway, I gotta go. I got stuff to do, people. Okay, I'm out. Y'all feel me? I'm out. Peace, peace, peace. Here we go. Boom, I'm out.